So let's start simply. A circular flow in a simple economy. When I say a simple economy, there will not be any government sector. There is no government. We assume, this is very hypothetical, but we assume there is no government. Of course, many of us may be very much happy if there is no government. Right? Even in Sri Lanka, we are very much happy if there is no government sector, but can't help me. We need the government as a system. So therefore, in learning about the circular flow, first we assume there is no government sector, as well as we assume that there is no international sector. We don't have international trade. We are having only two segments, that is households and firms. We assume that in this world, there will be only two economic agents in a very simple case. We are having households. Households are like us, who consume goods and services, as well as who is having some resources like labor or maybe capital and some ownership of lands or entrepreneurships. Right? So household will be having all these productive assets with them, and we have the firm sector, which is doing the production process. Firms will do the production. So in our simple economy, there will be only households and firms. Now, as I previously mentioned, what happened? Households, they are having production factors: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So these production factors are owned by the households. Therefore, what they do, they will sell those production factors to the firms. So firms take production factors. So this is a physical movement. So physical resources available with household will be moving into firms. Then what firms do? Firms will pay the income to the households. Right? It may be rent, wages, interest rates, and profit. And those are the payment to land, labor, and land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So we pay rent for land. When the firms get land from households, firms pay rent to the households. So it is an income to the households. And also firms pay interest rates. If they take capital from household, they will pay interest rates. And they pay wages. When firms get labor from the households, firms pay wages. And when firms take entrepreneurship from the households, firms pay profit. So anyway, household, they sell their production factors to the firms. Firms will spend money on factor income, which is going to the households. This is happening in a simple economy. So this is this process is physical and this is a financial. Since it is a circular flow, these production factors then should come again as physical resources to the households. So let's see what happens there. That is, firms take goods and services. Firms take production factors from the households and produce goods and services. So firms produce goods and services. It's a physical movement, and then those goods and services are sold to the households. As a physical movement, these goods and services will be getting into the household. Right? Then what the household does? They are having financial resource because they got factor income. So households pay whatever the income they are having, they will do spending on goods and services, which goes to the firms. Now you can see what is happening in simple economy. If there is no public sector, if there is no government sector, if there is no international trade, what happens? There will be only two entities, households and the firms. Household will sell their production factors to the firms. Firms take those production factors and produce goods and services and put that back into households. So when firms get factors from the household, firms pay factor income. So that income goes to the household. Using that money, household pay for goods and services where those money will be getting into the firms. So there is no any problem. We have the equilibrium like this. Whatever produced in the economy consumed by the household, whatever produced in the economy is production factors are coming from the household. So we have a balance, no issue at all. So the system perfectly works. But under simple economy, two more things happen. That is, households will make some savings. Right? Households will not consume whatever we are getting. Are we consuming? If I am earning 100,000 today, are we consuming all 100,000 within a single day or within a single month? Of course not. We save some money, maybe in a bank or at your home or somewhere, we save some money. Therefore, what happened? In this circular flow, there will be certain leakages. We call this as leakage. So it's a leakage which is moving out from the system through households. In this economic system, leakages will be moving out from the economy. Therefore, from the household side, we are having savings as the leakage. What happened to those savings? Let's assume this is getting into bank. If this is getting into a bank, then these savings will be coming in again to the system as investment. So we are having investment. So in a simple economy, we are having leakages and injections. So this is a leakage from the system. This is an injection from the system. So we have injection as investment. We have a leakage as savings. This is what happens in a simple economy, where we are having only households and firms. I hope it is clear. This is very simple. So as a system. Now what we can do, let's introduce the government. Right, so we are having a simple economy operating like this, with savings and investment as leakages and injections, and moving goods and services, factors of production, and financial services like the factor payment and payments on goods and services. So it's a simple economy. Now what we do, we introduce the government sector. When we introduce the government sector, what is come first? What comes first? If we introduce the public sector, what comes first? So we introduce the government. When we introduce the government, that automatically comes something called tax. Right? So to run the government, we need tax, we need income. So what government does? Government will take tax from the households, maybe income tax or goods and services tax, whatever it is. Government takes tax from the household, as well as government takes tax from the firms. So firms and households will pay some money to the government as tax. So it's a leakage from the system. So when government is introduced, we have one more leakage, that is tax. So tax will be a leakage from the system, which is going to the government. And then government will provide subsidies. Using the tax, what government does, it will be providing subsidies to the households or to the firms, like fuel subsidy. So government provide fuel subsidy, which goes to the public. Or maybe another program like Samurdhi. So government finance the Samurdhi program, where we are giving subsidies to the poor people. So households will be getting subsidies, as well as firms also getting subsidies, like paddy farmers. So paddy farmers are getting fertilizer subsidy, or big companies may be getting some marketing subsidies or international trade subsidies from the government. But anyway, with the money government earns through tax, some of it will be distributed between households and firms as subsidies. Then when we have the government also needs some spending. It has to spend on factor income. Like government needs land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. For that, government pay money to buy some labor like us. So we are hired by the government. So government is financing our salaries, which is under factor income. So government will spend money on factor income, as well as government does some investment. And there are certain investment projects, maybe building harbor, airports, and roads. So these are investment, or investing on education, health. All these are under investment. So government does some spending on investment, as well as government spend on goods and services. When government operates, it needs goods and services. Therefore, government will spend money on goods and services. So this is what happens when we are having the public sector or the government sector in the economy. Also, government is getting factor income from the public, or maybe from firms, or maybe from households. Because it has its own entrepreneurship, like Petroleum Corporation, Electricity Board. These are government business entities. So government getting some income, maybe profit from these institutions, or income to its own factors like land. And so therefore, government is getting certain income also. So let me check one question is there. The subsidies don't come under spending. Good question. Whether the subsidies are not under spending. Of course not. Because in general, we can say that is government spending. Government spend money on goods and services as well as subsidies. When we say spending on goods and services and subsidies, there's a big difference. Can someone say the difference between the spending on goods and services and spending on subsidies? What is the major difference between these two? It is because when we say spending on goods and services, when government spends some money, it will be getting some goods and services. So it's a two-way transaction. So government gives something and it gets something. Like us, right? When we pay some money, we get goods and services. Likewise, when government spend money, government also getting goods and services. This is spending on goods and services. And subsidies, it is only one way. Government may not be getting anything. And like government provide fertilizer subsidy to the farmers. So farmers will get that subsidy and produce their goods and services and sell it and get the profit. So government is not getting anything for the subsidy. So government spend on samurdhi. So when government spend on samurdhi, the samurdhi beneficiaries will receive certain money. That also one payment. So the samurdhi beneficiaries will not provide any good or service to the government. Therefore, there's a difference between subsidies and spending on goods and services. So this is why I put that as two things, spending and subsidies. In fact, when we say spending, that is on goods and services or investment or factor income. That is what I mean by spending. Subsidies mean those are the subsidies that government provides to the firms or to the general public. Right. Okay, if no questions, we can get into a bit more complicated picture. That is to introduce the international trade. We say external sector. So we had the very simple economy, which is called technically closed simple economy. When we say closed simple economy, we are not having international trade. Now we are going to introduce the international trade into the system and see what is happening. So when we open up for international trade, we are having export. Right? What do we mean by exports? Government, household, firms. All these entities are having exports. So exports mean we are sending some goods and services to a foreign country. So when we send goods and services to a foreign country, that foreign country will pay dollars to us. So we are earning foreign exchange. So the foreign exchange market will be there. So we are earning foreign currency through the exports. So that is what happens with the export. And then at the same time, we are having imports. Households, government, even the institutions, firms, they do the imports. Imports means we are getting some goods and services from foreign countries. Like under export, we are exporting our tea. So we are producing tea more than the amount that we consume in this country. Therefore, what we do, we send some excess tea to the foreign countries. This is known as exports. For imports, maybe we are not producing some goods and services like vehicle. So we are not producing vehicles or crude oil. So then what we have to do, we have to import goods and services from foreign countries. Government may be importing, or households may be importing, or the firms will be importing. So when we introduce the governments, the external sector, then we are getting exports and imports. So now the picture is a little bit complicated. In fact, if you want, you can complicate it a bit more further by introducing the financial markets, labor markets, likewise. But we are not going to do that much. But here we assume that our economy is open. We are open for foreign countries and we have a public sector. So that kind of economy, the simple behavior will be like this. Even this is very difficult because let's assume with tax, government decided to reduce the tax. Then what happened? When government reduced the amount of tax, the money with households and firms will be high because now they don't want to pay that as tax. So there will be high demand for goods and services. So then firms will have a higher demand for goods and services. They will make a higher demand for public production factors. When we have a higher demand for production factors, household will have more money. So they will be spending on goods and services or may do imports. So likewise, it will be starting to move in different business entities. That is what happens with the circular flow of a simplified version. Only we are having household, firms, government, and the international sector. In fact, we got this just only to understand the circular flow or the complicated behavior of the economy. It is not like what we learn in microeconomics. It is not simple like what we learn in microeconomics. It is a complicated picture, right?